Ovoga jutra sa nama je naš dragi gost. Iskreno moram reći, ja sam na rasporedu da imam propovjed. Kao što ste vidjeli, to je pisalo u našem info, to je pisalo na raspored. Ja vam nisam lagao, ja ću imati propovjed, samo će mi on šaptati na engleskom. Tako da danas imamo gosta, Julijana, mog dragog kolegu, i meni izuzetno zadovoljstvo što je, sutra je izvršni odbor, a on je član tog odbora i onda došao je povodom toga i onda s čim sam to saznao, rekao sam, ajde ti dođi kod nas imati propovjed, da ohrabriš narod, on je to obje ručke prihvatio i hvala Bogu što evo ga, on je sa nama. Now it's your turn.
Okay. Dobro jutro svima. I am sure that Dario will translate everything correctly.
Kaže, nadam se i vjerujem da će Dario sve točno prevesti.
It's an honor, it's a privilege to be sharing the word of God here with you today.
Meni je zadovoljstvo što ću moći podijeliti Božju riječ sa vama danas.
You know, the last time I preached in this church,
zadnji put kad sam ovdje propovijedao,
it was 15 years ago.
Bilo je prije 15 godina.
In the year 2001.
2001.
So I look forward to the year 2031.
Pa se raduje 2031.
To address you again.
Da opet propovijeda.
I'll never forget that sermon 15 years ago. I preached about Abraham and Sarah in the tent. I'm sure some of you remember it.
On je siguran da se neko od vas sjeća da je prošli put kad je ovdje bio, da je propovijedao Abrahamu i Sari.
I had just come out of Newbold College, you know, and under Dr. Turner from Newbold, you have to preach short, concise sermons.
Baš je došao iz Newbolda i tamo je naučio od profesora Turnera da ima kratke propovjedi, sažete i onako bogate.
And this is what I did.
I to je ono što je on napravio.
I probably still hold the record for preaching the shortest sermon in Prilaz church.
On je uvjeren da je, on je to napravio, kaže, ja sam uvjeren da držim rekord u najkraćoj propovjedi na Prilazu.
Because the dear elder, I don't remember his name, he said, brother, it was good, but it was 18 minutes.
Kaže, brate, bilo je super, starješina, ali bila je 18 minuta.
So I apologize 15 years later, but I can promise you that today I'm going to compensate for that very short sermon.
Kaže, ispričavam se za tada, međutim danas ćemo kompenzirati to vrijeme koje je tada ispustio.
I also don't forget that because right after that the lovely elder and they invited me. I had a wonderful meal in their home and they took me to the hill. What is the hill called?
Sljeme.
Sljeme. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. On se zahvalio tom bratu starješini koji je tada bio, koji ga je ugostio, bili su kod njega na ručku i on ga je odveo na naše ovo brdo Sljeme, planinu.
It's always nice, to walk a little bit up because at the moment I live in Germany, in the Danube Valley, actually in Neu-Ulm, which is in the other side of the Danube of Ulm.
Dobro, on živi u Njemačkoj i lijepo je, kaže, ići ovdje penjat se. Lijepo je ići prema gore. A kaže, tamo gdje živi u Njemačkoj isto tako ima jednu uzbrdicu na kojoj živi i gdje voli ići.
I know how people in Croatia, many of you have been to Germany, there is a connection with Germany, and I think most of you, almost all of you know where Ulm is, because you cannot escape Ulm. Ulm is in the middle of everything. If you go from Munich, if you want to go to Stuttgart, if you want to go to Frankfurt, you have to go through Ulm.
Dakle, Ulm je jedno mjesto gdje ste većina vas bili u Njemačkoj, morate proći kroz njega, on povezuje sve ostale gradove, jednostavno morate proći kroz njega, tako da znate.
It's a beautiful city, it has the tallest Protestant cathedral in the world, the Münster, the Ulmer Münster.
Predivan je to grad koji ima posebnu katedralu, najpoznatiju na svijetu, neku Münster.
Now, I live in Neu-Ulm and the best thing about Neu-Ulm is that you can look at the view of Ulm from the other side of the Danube.
Najbolje što živi na toj strani Ulma gdje može imati predivan pogled od gore prema dolje.
My wife, she's, as I think some of you might remember, she worked many years with ADRA Albania as a director, but she's German. She was born in Tübingen.
Moju suprugu sigurno znate, ona je radila dugo godina kao voditeljica ADRE u Albaniji.
We were many years in Albania, but since over a year ago we have taken a long leave without pay. And we live in Germany, and God has given us, after many, many years of waiting, God has given us a wonderful baby daughter, Albulena. I think some of you that see me on Facebook, you know her picture. She's beautiful.
Yes. Do you know that I don't
It just
I can't remember so much.
Improvise.
Ok, njegova supruga je Njemica i ona je dugo godina radila s njim u Albaniji, međutim sada su uzeli pauzu, odnosno sada rade kao volonter godinu dana bez plaćanja, sad živi u Njemačkoj sa suprugom i imaju predivnu malu kćerkicu.
So, this morning, basically I want to talk to you about life.
Ovoga jutra u sažetku želim vam govoriti o životu.
Life can be easily divided into two parts.
Život se može nekako podijeliti u dvije grupe, odnosno na dva načina.
Of course, work and sleep, but I'm talking about good days and bad days.
Dakle, možemo govoriti o radu i o spavanju, a možemo isto tako govoriti o dobrim danima i o lošim danima.
Sometimes in the morning you wake up and you know that it's not going to be a good day, it's going to be a bad day.
Znate, nekad se probudite ujutro i znate odmah od jutra da to neće biti dobar dan, bit će loš dan.
I think, for instance, the ladies, they know sometimes they just have a bad hair day. It's like that, there is no explanation. It's a mystery.
Dakle, same žene znaju da probude se ujutro, imaju jednostavno loš dan i to je jedna misterija koju ne možemo ni mi
But you have to accept it. It's going to be a bad day.
Biće loš dan i mi to moramo prihvatiti.
So when I think now it's going to be a bad day when Dario is your translator.
Pa mislim da će biti to loš dan kada vaš prevodioc Dario.
But let's bring this a little bit closer to home. I think it's going to be a bad day if the Slovenia reprezentacija beats Croatia, Hrvatska reprezentacija in Zagreb.
Kaže, bit će to loš dan kada...
You agree?
Kada Slovenija. Kad Slovenci pobjede Hrvatsku u nogometu u sred Zagreba, to će biti loš dan.
It's going to be a bad day.
Bit će loš dan.
If the girl of your dreams, it includes you.
Ako djevojka vaših snova, odnosno mojih,
she beats you in arm wrestling.
Ako te pobjedi u obaranju ruke.
It's going to be a bad day when your birthday cake collapses from the weight of the candles.
Biće loš dan kada vam se torta uruši za rođendan zbog težine svijeća.
This year I had 41 candles.
Ove godine imao sam 41 svijeću.
It's going to be a bad day when your daughter calls you on the phone and she says, I have an Albanian boyfriend.
Biće loš dan kada vas kćerka nazove i kaže, imam dečka iz Albanije.
True story.
Istina.
It's going to be probably just as bad day when your future father-in-law tells you that he thought you were from Afghanistan.
What?
My father-in-law, he mixed up Albania with Afghanistan.
Moj punac je pomiješao Albanca i Afganistanca i to je bio loš dan.
The great thing about preaching sermons away from home, from Germany now is my wife is not around, so I can preach freely.
Dakle, to je dobra strana što nema žene, pa sad mogu pričati šta god hoću.
I love my wife.
Ja volim svoju ženu.
She is a 5th generation Adventist.
Ona je 5. generacija adventista.
So I guess my daughter is a 6th generation Adventist.
Tako da moja kćerka 6. generacija adventista.
I am prva generacija.
On je prva generacija.
So, I love her parents, especially my mother-in-law.
Ja volim svoje...
I love my
volim
mother.
punicu svoju.
My wife's mother.
Da, punica.
When on Sunday morning at 7 o'clock, she knocks on the door because we live upstairs.
U nedjelju ujutro u 7 ona kuca, pošto živimo gore, ona kuca.
And she says, störe ich? Do I disturb?
Da li vam smetam?
Now, life consists, as I said, of good days and bad days. And the first thing that comes to my mind to compare the good days and the bad days is the contrast between mountaintops and valleys.
Ja volim taj princip dobrih dana i loših dana usporediti sa principom planine i doline.
So brothers and sisters over there, you are on the mountaintop, you down here, you are in the valley.
A vi, braćo, vi ste gore na planini, a vi, braćo i sestre, vi ste u dolini.
But this is life, to je život. Consists of good experiences and tough experiences.
Dakle, ima dobrih iskustava i loših iskustava. To je život.
So life consists of mountaintop experiences. What are these experiences?
Dakle, život se sastoji od planina. Koje su to iskustva?
Everything is good, everything is great, odlično, fantastično, everything.
Sve je odlično, fantastično i život se sastoji od trenutaka kad ide sve od ruke.
everything is good. So from the morning, when you wake up until the evening, everything is gone perfect.
Dakle, od kad se probudite do navečer, sve ide savršeno kako ste
Times
zamislili.
of good food from the church potluck.
Odlična hrana na zajedničkom
Times
ručku.
of peace and prosperity.
Vrijeme mira i prosperiteta.
Times of joy and jubilation.
Vrijeme radosti i slave.
Times of singing and celebration.
Slavljenja i hvaljenja i pjevanja.
Some people may dream, I wish I was always on the mountaintop.
Neki ljudi sanjaju samo da budu non stop na planini.
But my job is to bring you to reality, my friends.
Ali moram vas uvesti u realnost.
So life consists also of the valley experiences.
Ali život se sastoji od dolina iskustava.
Times when things are not so good, they are not so great.
Vrijeme kada nije tako sve dobro i kada nije sve sjajno.
Times of trouble and tribulation.
Vrijeme patnje i iskušenja.
Times of misery and mourning.
Vrijeme jada i bijede.
Times of sadness and suffocation.
Vrijeme kada smo tužni i žalosni i patimo zbog toga.
Times of discouragement and
Vrijeme
depression.
obeshrabrenja i depresije.
Mountaintop experiences are great. It's a wonderful feeling to be on top of the mountain.
A gore na planini je predivno osjećati se.
These are the things we tend to look forward to.
Tome mi težimo.
But I wonder, brothers and sisters, today, if it is the valleys that are perhaps the most important part of our life.
Ali meni se čini da su čak te doline najvažniji dio našeg
Let's
života.
look at the valleys. What do we know about valleys? Valleys are surrounded by high mountains.
Što mi znamo o dolinama? Mi znamo da su one okružene sa planinama.
Most of the time, there is not much sun.
Većinu vremena tamo nema puno sunca.
I landed yesterday afternoon from the plane from Munich, and I saw the sun after 10 days.
Jučer je sletio iz Minhena i vidio je konačno sunce jučer nakon 10 dana.
The difference, the biggest shock for me to move from Tirana, Albania, to Ulm is in Tirana you have 300 days of sun. In Ulm you have 300 days of cloud or rainy weather.
I kaže, živi u Ulmu, a u Ulmu je 300 dana u godini stalno je na oblaka nekako. Ne vidi se sunce. Međutim, u Tirani je 300 dana, vidite normalno sunce. I to je predivno. On je žive, dakle, i navikao je na sunce. Međutim, u Ulmu nema.
So, in the valley, it's a little bit dark, you feel a little bit chilly, you feel a little bit insecure.
Dakle, u dolini je onako mračno, hladno i osjećate se nesigurno.
And normally, you don't feel so enthusiastic. It doesn't come naturally.
I normalno, po prirodi ne dolazi onaj entuzijazam i oduševljenje u dolini.
Because when you're up there, you are so jubilant, you're so
Jer kad ste
confident.
gore, toliko ste puni samopouzdanja i puni elana.
But everybody, all of us go through the valley, my friends.
Ali svi mi prolazimo kroz doline.
Christians and non-Christians.
Kršćani i nekršćani.
Adventists and non-Adventists.
Adventisti i neadventisti.
Nations go through the valley, bad times.
Cijele nacije, narodi idu gore dolje, idu u što.
Local churches go through, this pattern of valley, mountain, valley.
Isto tako i lokalna crkva ide gore dolje, ide u planine, ide i u doline.
Even football clubs do.
Čak i klubovi idu gore dolje.
I think you have gathered that I like football. Some of you know this, that I'm supporter of Liverpool.
Svi znate da ja jako volim nogomet, oni koji me poznaju, i da podržavam i navijam za Liverpool.
I support Liverpool because when I was a little boy, like the wonderful children that
Ja isto kad sam bio ovako mali, od tada
Liverpool was the most famous team in the world.
Tad je Liverpool bio najpoznatiji, najbolji tim na svijetu.
So I grew up watching illegally JRT.
Gledao je ilegalno jedan program.
So jugoslovenski televiziju.
Aha, jugoslovensku televiziju.
Yeah. And the last time that Liverpool won the Premier League was in 1990.
I zadnji puta kad je Liverpool osvojio ligu, englesku Premiership 1990.
Just a little bit before I last preached here.
Poslije sam malo propovijedao. Samo kažem.
So 26 years ago.
Dakle, 26 godina prije.
So you can imagine that for these 26 years Liverpool have been in the valley.
I od onda 26 godina Liverpool je u dolini.
But let's not talk about Liverpool. Let's bring this closer to home.
Ali idemo mi to malo približiti nama.
I did some research about hrvatski nogomet.
Napravim malo istraživanje vezano za hrvatski.
And I noticed that the Prva Liga started in 1992.
I vidio je da je naša Hrvatska liga počela 92.
And there has been two dominating teams, of course.
I postoje dva dominantna kluba.
The famous vječni derbi.
Postoji vječni derbi, vidite kako film.
Dinamo Zagreb, Hajduk Split.
Dakle, sve je poznato.
Now statistics, Dinamo have been 3 times more champions than Hajduk. Dinamo 18 times and Hajduk 6 times.
Dakle, tri puta više je Dinamo osvojio prvenstvo Hrvatske od Hajduka.
But only once, one club, another club won the Prva Liga.
Da, samo jedan klub osvojio hrvatsko prvenstvo u svojoj ovoj našoj povijesti. Samo jedan klub.
In the season of 2001 to 2002.
Just when you preached.
When I was here.
Dakle, 2001. Prvenstvo Hrvatske osvojio je nogometni klub Zagreb.
Zagreb. They reached the mountain top.
Oni su tada osvojili planinu.
But since then they have been in the valley.
Ali od onda oni su u dolini.
I think SSV Ulm is even worse. I think we are in the 6th Bundesliga or 7th.
On kaže da grad u kojem živi sada da je Ulm sada negdje u 6. ligi taj klub.
But it is in the valley, brothers and sisters, that we find the people and the army of Israel.
Ali mi u toj dolini nalazimo Božje ljude i mi nalazimo Božji narod.
In fact, it is a bad day for Israel in the valley.
I zapravo se loši dani nalaze u dolini za Božji narod.
And in today's Bible passage we find them in 1 Samuel 17.
I mi ćemo danas otvoriti 1. Samuelu 17. glavu da vidimo tu dolinu.
And we can read the first 3 verses. I think to save time, the first 3 verses Pastor Dario will share with us. And we find them, they are in the valley.
Evo, pročitat ćemo 3 stiha iz 1. Samuelove, pročitat ćemo prva, dakle 3 stiha, evo ja ću pročitati na hrvatskom. Kaže ovako: Filistejci skupiše svoje čete za rat i sastaše se kod Soka u Judeji. Tabor udariše između Soka i Azeka kod Efes Damima. A Šaul i Izraelci skupiše se i utaboriše se u Terabinskoj dolini i svrstaše se za boj protiv Filistejaca. Filistejci su stajali na gori s jedne strane, Izraelci na gori s druge strane, a dolina je bila među njima.
It's a very dramatic context and surrounding, you know, they are in the valley and also a valley surrounds them.
Dakle, vrlo dramatično okruženje, sistem gdje se oni nalaze. Dakle, okruženje je bilo jako interesantno.
Now, brothers and sisters, you know very well the story of David and Goliath. So we will go through a little bit fast during the passage because I think even the children know the story, what happened, and how David beat and killed Goliath.
Pošto nam je ta priča izuzetno poznata, mi ćemo taj dio priče prešutiti, ali ćemo imati u pozadini jer želi naglasiti posebne poruke koje će uslijediti iz ovog teksta.
But it's very symbolic that they are in the valley because Israel is afraid. They are afraid of the Philistines.
Dakle, oni se nalaze u dolini i boje se Filistejaca.
Because in the valley there are giants.
Zato što u dolini se nalaze divovi.
But I'm not talking only about Goliath. Of course, in verse 4 we read...
Nama je jasno da se tu nalazi Golijat, fizički Golijat, međutim ja ovdje govorim i o drugim Golijatima.
You know, he was from Gath. You can read verses 4 to 7, but read them in a way that you scare them.
Kaže da pročitam tako da vas uplašim kakav je Golijat bio. Iz filistejskih redova iziđe jedan izazivač. Zvao se Golijat, a bio je iz Gata. Visok biješe 6 lakata i 1 pedalj, na glavi imao mjedenu kacigu. Obučen je bio u ljudska oklop, a oklop mu težak 5000 mjedenih šekela. Na nogama je imao mjedene nogavice, a na ramenima mjedenu sulicu. Kopljača njegova koplja bila je kao tkalačko vratilo, a šiljak koplja težak 600 željeznih šekala. Pred njim je stupao štitonoša.
I mean, I am scared. When I read this description and having this guy in front of me, I would be very scared.
Kad čitam ovaj opis i zamišljam ga i vidim ga pred sebe, ja sam jednostavno uplašim se i uplašio bi se kad bih ga vidio.
What makes us a little bit uncomfortable?
Ono što nas čini neudobno, ono što je neudobno zapravo,
that this is supposed to be the army of Israel, whose God is the true God of Israel.
Ovdje bi zapravo trebao biti Bog koji je Bog od Izraela.
This is Israel we're talking about. Israel is not supposed to be afraid.
Izrael se ne bi trebao bojati.
Right? This is the Israel that God took in a miraculous way from Egypt, and performing miracles, so they should have no fear.
Oni se ne bi trebali bojati, jer imaju Boga koji ih je izveo iz Izraela i znali su šta Bog radi, međutim oni se boje.
But unfortunately, under King Saul's leadership, things had gone pretty down towards,
međutim, u tokom vodstva kralja Saula, Izraelci su se srozali i evo sada kako se boje.
Even Saul and his generals, they were terrified. They did not believe anymore that God could win this battle for them.
Oni su bili prestravljeni od Saula do svih tih generala do cijele vojske, oni su se bojali i nisu uopće vjerovali u pobjedu.
So in the valley we have the giant of fear.
Dakle, imamo jednog diva, gorostasa koji se zove strah.
And unfortunately the giant of unbelief.
A imamo tu isto tako diva koji se zove nevjera.
You know what is more depressing in verse 25?
U stihu 25, što je još depresivnije, stih 25 kaže ovako: neki Izraelac reče, jeste li vidjeli jednog čovjeka što je izašao, a izašao je da izaziva Izraela? Tko njega pogubi, kralj će mu dati silno blago i daće mu svoju kćer i oslobodit će od poreza njegov očinski dom u Izraelu.
You know, when you read this verse, it implies, right, that they secretly admire the enemy.
Oni su se zapravo, kad pročitamo ovaj stih, oni su se zapravo divili svome neprijatelju.
And they are admitting defeat.
I oni priznaju poraz.
The failure. So, but in the valley, so basically there is a challenge. Not only there is this giant there in front, but he challenges them. Goliath challenges them big time.
Ali tu se nalazi veliki izazov. Dakle, veliki izazov koji im daje Goliat.
He defies not only Israel, but really, and we know the context, he is defying their God.
On ne samo da izaziva Izraelce, nego izaziva i izraelskog Boga.
Now, this is important, brothers and sisters. What Goliath is really saying.
Jer ovo je jako važno. Ono što zapravo Golijat govori je sljedeće.
You know, verses 8 to 10. Let's read them to get the context.
Čitat ćemo od 8 do 10 da vidimo kontekst. Kaže ovako: on se postavi pred izraelske bojne redove i dovikne im: što ste izašli da se svrstate za bitku? Nisam li ja Filistejac, a vi Šaulove sluge? Izaberite između sebe jednog čovjeka, pa neka siđe k meni. Ako pobjedi u borbi sa mnom i pogubi me, mi ćemo biti vaše sluge. Ako li ja pobjedim njega i pogubim ga, onda ćete vi biti naše sluge i nama ćete robovati. Još je Filistejac rekao: ja sam danas izazvao Izraelove bojne redove. Dajte mi čovjeka da se ogledamo u dvoboju.
Goliath makes a direct challenge to Israel. He defies their God here, and what he is saying really is.
Dakle, ovdje on direktno izaziva Izraelce i Boga i zapravo on želi drugim riječima reći sljedeće.
And we can think about our situation today in 2016.
I zato ćemo to povezati sa nama danas ovdje u Zagrebu.
You know your God.
Znate, vaš Bog.
Your God is the God of mountaintops.
On je samo Bog planina.
You know, it's like in the good days of Moses.
Kao u dobar stara vremena za vrijeme Mojsija.
You know, but your God is not the God of the valley.
Ali vaš Bog nije Bog dolina.
My heathen pagan gods, they are the gods of the valley, they are stronger than your God.
Naši bogovi, poganski bogovi, oni su bogovi dolina, oni su tu pored nas i oni su jači od vas i oni su pravi.
But let's think about this a little bit this morning.
Ali razmislimo o ovome ovoga jutra.
If we are very sincere with ourselves, haven't we asked ourselves a similar question?
Ako to povežemo s nama, nismo li mi isto tako sebe nekad pitali ista ta pitanja?
Where is God
Gdje je Bog?
When I am in the valley.
Kad sam ja u dolini.
You know, because God was there. When I was up there, He was. I felt God in the mountain top. But now I'm not feeling that He is around.
Jer kad sam bio gore na planini, kad je sve bilo super, onda sam osjećao Boga i bilo mi je fantastično. Međutim, sada kad sam u dolini, sad kao da ga nema.
You know, we don't like to talk about this because, you know, who wants to talk or even preach about, you know, depression and discouragement? But it's a part of life.
Nekako izbjegavamo govoriti o toj depresiji, o tim problemima, ali to je sastavni dio života.
In the valley, except giants, except challenges, there is also discouragement.
Osim, dakle, divova straha, izazova, nalazi se i obeshrabrenje, div obeshrabrenja.
And unfortunately, discouragement comes from several places.
A obeshrabrenje dolazi iz više smjerova.
Of course, normally it comes from bad people. It comes from Satan and evil people that hate the fact that we believe in Jesus Christ.
Naravno da dolazi obeshrabrenje od Sotone, od ljudi koji slušaju njegove savjete i onda nas oni isto tako obeshrabruju.
Of course, it comes from unbelievers. You know, we are a separate, a very different denomination. You know, Protestant, but very different denomination, and we are not really liked all over the world, you know.
Nismo baš dobro došli u mnoštvo dijelova i cijeli svijet se zapravo kao da se okomio protiv nas, ali mi smo ipak drugačiji, mi smo za njih sektaši i oni nas obeshrabruju.
Is it nice? It's not nice, but we know it exists, so we move on.
Nije ugodno, mi to znamo da postoji, ali idemo dalje.
But what hurts the most
ali ono što najviše boli
is when discouragement comes from our fellow believers.
Ali najveće obeshrabrenje dolazi od našeg brata koji je s nama u crkvi.
Let's read verse 28. You know, imagine how hurtful this story is about David.
Zamislite kako je ovo bolno i kako je u priči bilo Davidu. Dakle,
and how his brother treats him.
I vidite kako su njegova braća njega tretirali. 29. stih.
28.
Yes. 28. A kad je Elijab, njegov najstariji brat, čuo kako se razgovara s ljudima, usplamtnje gnjevom na Davida, pa mu reče: a što si ti došao ovamo? Kome si ostavio ono malo ovaca u pustinji?
This is what hurts the most, you know, because you expect at least your relatives or your brothers and sisters in Christ, you know, to support you, but this doesn't always happen, unfortunately.
Ovo je zapravo jako bolno. Očekuješ od svoje braće i sestara da te podrže, da te podupru, a ono dolazi upravo od njih najveće obeshrabrenje.
But what are we going to do? Are we going to give up?
A šta ćemo mi? Hoćemo odustati? Hoćemo odustati kao Saul?
Absolutely not.
Apsolutno ne.
So, you know, yes, there are giants in the valley. There is discouragement and fear in the valley.
Da, postoji obeshrabrenja i strahovi u dolini.
You know, but is it such a bad day really?
Ali da li je to zaista tako teško?
So, isn't our God the God of the mountaintop experiences? Is he also the God of the valley?
Zar naš Bog nije Bog planina i zar naš Bog nije Bog dolina?
You know, until verse what Pastor Dario read in verse 28, it's depressing. But then there is another side of the story. The story continues.
Do sada što smo čitali do ovog 26. stiha, nekako priča jako depresivna, crna, tužna, međutim sada će uslijediti bolje stvari.
And we see that interesting, exciting things are now happening, new developments in the valley. I
evo ga sad neki novi događaj, novi razvoj u ovoj dolini što se dešava.
And you know, brothers and sisters, there is no doubt when we read and I love the fact that you have underlined the Bible.
That's why I can't read.
Okay. You know, in the valley we can see the power of our God.
U dolini mi možemo vidjeti silu Božju.
How do we see this?
Kako vidimo to u ovoj priči?
A teenager.
Teenager jedan.
One of those boys that were sitting there, somebody like you.
Netko poput toj momaka koji je tu sjedio.
He appears in the valley. Out of nowhere.
On se pojavio u dolini od nikud. I onako sve dobro.
We know the story, right? You know how he came to bring food for his brothers. It was completely, you know, like a coincidence, spontaneous, but we know that God was behind the whole thing, you know.
Mi znamo da je on bio poslan onako sasvim slučajno da donese i da ohrabri malo braću, da im donese hranu, međutim mi znamo da ga je Bog tamo kroz te okolnosti doveo.
Now God could have made it easier, right? He could have used one of the mighty warriors, the best warriors of King Saul.
Bog je mogao iskoristiti nekog ratnika, nekog iskusnog vojnika iz vojske Saulove.
But he didn't.
Ali nije to učinio.
But why?
Zašto to nije učinio?
Brothers and sisters, God is not looking for someone who can do the job.
Draga braćo i sestre, Bog ne traži nekoga ko može napraviti dobar posao.
God is looking for someone who will have to rely upon him to do the job.
Bog traži nekoga ko će se osloniti na njega kako bi napravio posao.
I'll say it again. I want you to, if you can,
Ja ću
remember
ovo ponoviti,
this.
želim da ovo zapamtite.
God is not looking for someone who can do the job for him.
Bog ne traži nekoga ko će napraviti posao za njega.
He is all powerful. Anybody could do it.
On je svemoćan, bilo ko to može napraviti.
But God is actually looking for someone who will have to rely upon God to do this job for him.
Bog traži nekoga ko se mora osloniti, koji se oslona na njega da napravi posao.
So what we expect the least actually happens. Our faith can increase in the valley.
I što zapravo možemo očekivati? Možemo očekivati da će naša vjera porasti u dolini.
Because, in the valley we see a beautiful story of the conquest of faith.
Jer mi vidimo u dolini pobjedu vjere.
In verse 36 we read, it's okay, you just translate. David is killing the lion and the bear in the valley.
Mi vidimo prije da je David prije u dolini ubijao ovog medvjeda i lava.
I wish I could preach, I like the rhyme. Planina and dolina, it's beautiful. It sounds better in Croatian than in English.
On uživa, dakle, sa hrvatskim konačno, da je na hrvatskom možemo nešto lijepo povezati, dakle, planina i dolina.
But, this is in the valley David kills these wild animals.
Ali on u dolini ubija te divlje zvijeri.
It's important, the writer, of God wanted to make sure that this is recorded in 1 Samuel.
I to je
for us
pisac namjerno pustio da imamo, da vidimo i da čitamo i da se ohrabrimo.
He's saying, if you are today in the valley, I am there too. Look how I helped David.
I Bog želi kroz pismo reći, vidi, David je bio u planini, ja sam mu pomogao i tebi ću pomoći.
Wow, I can kill a lion in the valley with the help of God.
Ja mogu lava pobijediti sa Božjom moći u dolini.
In verse 37 we see the enthusiasm of faith.
U 37. stihu vidimo entuzijazam vjere.
The self-confidence in David. The Lord will deliver me from the hands of Goliath.
Vidite to samopouzdanje koje David ima. Bog će meni dati pobjedu nad Golijatom.
It's amazing. It's wonderful.
To je nevjerojatno.
And we have the equipment of faith, right, in verse 40.
A mi imamo i opremu za vjeru, a to je u stihu 40.
5 stones and a sling.
5 kamenčića i pračka.
How funny and how ironic it is that all David needs is some stones and a sling.
Kako je to zapravo zanimljivo, smiješno i ironično da ovog diva ubije sa onom opremom.
In verse, if you follow me, verse 45, David challenges Goliath back in the name of the Lord.
45. stih kaže da sad David uzvraća i sada zapravo izaziva Golijata.
He challenges them. He says, look, you are talking about, shame on you, you talk about the God of Israel like that. He is the only true God.
I sad se o njemu suprotstavlja i kaže, sram te bilo što to govoriš. Izraelski Bog je pravi Bog.
And then the whole beautiful story ends in verse 49 with the ultimate final victory of faith, of David's faith.
I sada imamo, you said 49.
You can 49.
49. i imamo konačnu pobjedu. I kaže ovako, David segnu rukom u torbu, izvadi iz nje kamen i hitno ga iz pračke i pogodi Filistejca u čelo. Kamen mu se zabije u čelo i on pada ničice na zemlju.
And brothers and sisters, notice the humor, the mild, beautiful, biblical humor in verse 50, where it explains the whole story what we've been talking about.
I vidite sad kako je ovo predivno, čak ima puno i humora u ovom tu, u 50. stihu ćemo vidjeti.
How did David triumph?
Kak je David triumfirao?
Okay, put this.
Tako je David pračkom i kamenom nadjačao Filistejca, udario je Filistejca i ubio ga, a nije imao mača u ruci.
It's easy. No sword needed, nothing, no big equipment needed.
Njemu ne treba mač, njemu ne treba oprema.
But he had faith.
On ima vjeru.
Now, there is a story about an old country preacher.
Ima jedna priča o jednom starijem propovjedniku.
He was asked, he was old and people respected him a lot.
Bio je već ostario i ljudi su ga poštivali.
And people asked, Pastor, what is your favorite part of the Bible?
I onda su ga pitali, pastor, daj nam reci koji je tvoj najdraži dio Biblije.
He says, you might be surprised, he said, but my favorite part is the one that says,
dakle, iznenadit ćete se možda, ali najdraži dio u Bibliji mi je jedan dio gdje kaže
and it came to pass.
I prošlo je. I prošlo.
And this is, by the way, and we know from our Bibles that this is mentioned hundreds of times.
To se spominje stotinjak puta i više puta.
But it's nobody's favorite verse.
Ali to nikome nije najdraži biblijski redak, niti citat, niti
doesn't make sense, pastor.
To nema smisla, pastore.
Why not choose a passage like Psalm 23?
Zašto nije 23. psalam ili
John 3:16
ili 3:16 ili
something from Philippians? Any verse in Philippians is wonderful.
Nešto je bilo koji stih iz Filipljanima, svi su predivni.
He replied, he said, look, those verses are very good.
Ti stihovi su jako dobri.
But I like,
ali meni se sviđa,
it came to pass.
Ali prošlo je.
He was then asked, people were curious, what is so special about this part,
daj nam sad onda objasni što je to toliko specijalno što te zaintrigiralo da ti to bude najdraže.
And he said,
a on je rekao,
I know,
ja znam,
that whatever I go through,
da u što god uđem i što god dođe pod moj put,
no matter how bad it is,
nema veze što će doći i koliko god da je teško i gorko,
that it too will come to pass.
To će proći.
And I will make it through.
I ja ću proći kroz to.
Brothers and sisters, dear friends.
Draga braćo i sestre, prijatelji.
The valley, not the mountaintop. The valley is the place where things come to pass in our life.
U dolini su stvari koje će proći u našem životu.
Yes, there are giants in the valley.
Da,
yes, there is fear in the valley.
Ima divova, ima strahova.
Yes, there is darkness, even the shadow of death is in the valley.
Tu je i mrak i sjena smrti je tu.
There is discouragement and depression in the valley.
Tu je obeshrabrenje i depresija.
Yes, sure.
Sve se to tu
nalazi. But this is the reality. This is called life on this earth.
Ali to se zove život na ovoj zemlji.
But it is these valley experiences, these valley times of our lives that we actually should be grateful, thankful that they exist.
Ali zapravo bismo mi za ova iskustva trebali biti zahvalni što postoje.
Because there is no better place for us to reflect.
Jer nema boljeg mjesta da reflektiramo i odražavamo.
There is no better place for us than to gather strength and to have our faith increased.
Da svoju snagu i svoju vjeru ojačamo.
And there is no better place for us than to face the giants of our life.
Nema boljeg mjesta nego da se sretnemo sa divovima našeg života.
I think of my situation when I live today, I'm living in Germany and it's not, let's say, natural, right, for me to live there.
I kaže, nije ni meni baš jednostavno, živim sada u Njemačkoj i nije mi baš prirodno da tamo budem.
I was so, and Pastor Dario, many of you probably know, I was so involved full time in Albania, doing pastoring and working, and my wife too.
On je dakle bio u Albaniji dugo vremena i predano je radio sa svojim suprugom dugo vremena.
And it's funny, it's weird. I don't know if some other pastor will experience this, but suddenly it's very strange feeling. It's a valley experience when you are suddenly no longer working for the church.
Ali to je jako teško iskustvo kada više ne radite u crkvi za Boga.
And of course I miss my friends. You know, if you are Albanian, because of our culture, you miss the guy friends especially. And I have nobody in Germany, I miss my friends, let's say, from Tirana.
I nije mu jednostavno jer nema nikoga od svojih, jednostavno Albanac je, on voli svoje albansko društvo, a tamo nema nikoga.
I could find many other reasons to be depressed and to feel so sorry about myself.
I može naći puno razloga zašto je bio u depresiji, razočaran i
that is why I'm preaching this sermon to me first.
Zato on sebi prvo propoveda u propovjedi.
Because great things can ever, it's amazing what surprises God can have for you and for me in the valley.
Jer interesantno je kakva Bog rješenja i iznenađenja za nas ima u dolini.
So, dear brothers and sisters, a bad day in the valley is not such a bad day after all.
Dakle, draga braćo i sestre, loš dan u dolini ipak nije tako loš dan.
But you know what is the greatest thing that we find in the valley?
A znate što je najbolja stvar koju nalazimo u dolini?
It is the presence of God.
To je prisutnost
In
Božja.
fact, what we don't know, but then we realize and we found out and say, wow, yes, I knew it. He was already there before
Ono
us.
što mi tek počinjemo shvaćati i kažemo, on je tu, on je pored nas.
As we see ourselves slip or even sometimes fall, we crash down from the mountaintop.
Nekad se, pogotovo sa vrha planine, možda strmoglavimo dolje ili oskliznemo ili nađemo se dolje.
He is there already.
On je tamo već.
With his arms open wide.
Sa svojim otvorenim rukama.
Encouraging us.
Ohrabrujući nas.
Strengthening us.
Jačajući nas.
Or if we fall from a height, he catches us and
I kad
grabs
padamo
us.
sa visine, on nas hvata, grabi nas.
And he prepares us to win the next challenge.
I priprema nas da pobjedimo u sljedećem izazovu.
Because the mountaintop is just next in line. It's coming up.
Jer oni su u redu zato što uvijek ima novi vrh kojeg treba
And of course we look forward to the mountaintop. It's not bad at all to be on top of the mountain, as we said in the beginning.
I nije loše biti gore na planini.
But he is not only the God of mountaintops.
Ali on nije samo Bog vrhova planinskih.
But he is also the God of the valley. Can I have an amen for that?
On je isto tako i Bog doline. Možemo li reći amen na to? Amen.
Amen. He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob and Joseph.
On je Bog Abrahama, Izaka, Jakova.
Imagine their life, right? Most of their life was actually in the valley.
Zamislite njihove živote. Njihovi životi su zapravo većinom bili u dolini.
We see from Sabbath school, he is the God of Job.
Vidjeli smo i u subotnjoj školi da je on Bog Joba.
He is the God of Elijah. Imagine Elijah on top of the mountain there. Beautiful story, killing all the heathen priests. And then the next day he's in the valley.
I on je Bog Ilije koji je u jednom trenutku bio na planini, tamo je pokazala se slava Božja, ubio one sve zle proroke, ali već sljedeći dan je bio u dolini u depresiji.
You know, we like to talk about, that chapter when Elijah is up there.
Mi volimo govoriti o tom
When the fire
poglavlju
comes down from
gdje
heaven.
gori kada pada vatra s neba.
But we don't talk so much about the next day when he is running from Jezebel.
A ne govorimo baš o sljedećem danu u poglavlju kada on bježi od Izabele.
Why? To je život.
To je život.
This is how, and we have to accept this and see for opportunities. When we are down there in the valley, that God says, what are you doing here, Elijah?
I moramo to prihvatiti i kaže njemu Bog, što ti radiš tu, Ilija, što ti radiš tu?
So, God gives him to eat.
I Bog mu daje da jede.
And looks after him in the valley.
I on se brine za njega u dolini.
He is the God of the prophets, like Jeremiah, who suffered a lot in life.
On je Bog proroka, i to Bog proroka Jeremije, koji jako pati u životu.
And he is the God of David,
On je isto
the
tako
little teenager.
Bog Davida, malog tinejdžera.
And the future king.
I budućeg kralja.
So he is God when život je dobra.
On je dakle Bog kada je život dobro.
And also when život is loša.
I kad je život loš. When it's bad.
Shall I try to say this? He is our God On je Bog naš u planini, ali i on je Bog naš u dolini.
Amen.
And remember, it is the valleys, brothers and sisters, that connect the mountain tops.
Mi moramo znati da su doline te koje povezaju dvije planine.
So when you find yourself, or if you are now on these days in your life in the valley,
I ako ste u ovom trenutku možda u svom životu usred možda planine,
reconsider.
Razmislite malo.
Gather yourself together.
Usredotočite se i promislite.
And take heart, be encouraged.
I budite ohrabreni.
For God is there for you.
Zato što je Bog pored tebe tu.
And you will certainly hear the voice of Jesus.
I čućeš glas Isusov.
And he will say, take heart.
I on će ti reći,
I am with you
ja sam s
until
tobom.
the end of the world.
Biću s tobom do kraja svijeta.
I will lead you through the valley.
Ja ću te voditi kroz dolinu.
And eventually,
I s vremenom
it will come to pass.
Proći će.
If you can read this.
On je Bog naš u planini, ali on je i naš Bog u dolini.
God bless you.
Nek nas sve Bog blagoslovi. Amen.
Dear Heavenly Father,
Dragi Oče,
how wonderful it is today
kako je predivno danas
to realize
shvatiti
that you are not only the God of mountaintops,
da ti nisi samo Bog planina,
but you are also our God in the valley.
nego ti si naš Bog u dolini.
Dear Lord, I want to pray for this wonderful church here in Zagreb.
Dragi Oče, želim moliti ovog jutra za ovu predivnu crkvu u Zagrebu.
For each one of our brothers and sisters here, the elderly and the children and everybody.
Za svakog od nas tu koji se nalazi, za starješine, za djecu, za svu braću i sestre.
All of us have gone, are going, or will go through difficult times and bad days in the valley.
Svi mi idemo, prolazimo i nalazimo se usred teških trenutaka u našem životu.
Lord, through your wonderful Holy Spirit,
kroz tvog Duha Svetoga,
encourage them and help them to remember
ohrabri svakoga i pomozi da se svako od nas sjeti
that you are already there,
da si ti već ovdje,
that in the valley our faith is increased,
da u dolini naša vjera raste
and victories for Jesus Christ are won.
I da je pobjeda u Kristu Isusu donesena i osigurana.
So Lord, on this beautiful holy day that you set apart for worship,
I dragi Oče, ovog svetog dana kojeg si ti odredio,
I pray for your blessing for everyone here.
Molim za blagoslov nad svima ovdje.
I pray for the congregation as well as the pastor, continuing blessings.
Za cijelu zajednicu i za pastora da ih blagosiljaš.
That Lord, as we go through valley experiences and mountaintop experiences,
Dok god idemo u iskustva planina i dolina,
we remember that you are the God of Israel.
Da se sjetimo da si ti Bog Izraelov.
And you are our God today.
I ti si naš Bog danas.
And we thank you.
I mi ti se zahvaljujemo.
In the wonderful name of Jesus,
u predivno ime Isusa,
who in the valley he made sure that our salvation is made possible.
Koji je upravo u dolini osigurao naše spasenje.
He took our burden, all our sin.
Uzeo je sav naš grijeh i teret.
And he washed us with his blood, and we can come today clean and encouraged.
Oprao nas je u krvi i mi danas dolazimo čisti i ohrabreni.
And to him be the glory.
I neka njemu slava i hvala.
In his wonderful name we pray.
I u njegovo ime molimo.
Amen.
Amen.